Right. 31 October 2025. And today I've got an important explanation to make. And I want us to clarify the events around Nyokayemabhunu and what needs to happen and what has happened in the past. I have seen some people repeatedly making claims that we've asked the Nyoka to name the general that he was working with. And I just want to start with a clip so that you can understand the men we're talking about. Nyokayemabhunu.
Right, maniraka naka makomrades. Kana Noah akati vakaingara akataura mvura ichauya kune vamwe vanoti aiwa haiuye, vamwe vogotomboisa mapango, vamwe vobva vatozouya votora, but mvura iye muchaiona yava pedyo. Manzwa regai ndikutaurirei, muri kuenda kuindependence nanew president. Kunyarara kwangu kusikana ndakanyarara kune something to do nengarara yaNoah. Handi mazinzwisisa ndikutaura izvozvi ndichiguma. Handisi kuda kutatamura audio ndichienda naye kure. Handi mazinzwisisa ezvizvi murare henyu munyasha. Handi manzwa ndati Noah akataura akati mvura ichauya. Ende vamwe vakatora for granted vakada vamwe vakatuka Noah. Handi manzwa sematukira muri kundita Nyokayemabhunu anopenga ari kuda mari dzedu ada ndati mvura yaNoah iri kuuya. Inonzi chazezesa, inonzi chingungundengu, inonzi chigwedere. Iri kuuya muchaiona. Handisi kuda kutaura zvakawanda. Good night. Handi manzwa here. Muchaiona mvura yaNoah. Handi manzwa. Muchaiona zvenyu. Ndatopedza so nichitaura so. Yeah. Chaiona. Yeah.
Okay. What a powerful voice. So this man has got an extremely powerful voice. Nyokayemabhunu. There is no person in Zimbabwe who has ever galvanized people as much as Nyokayemabhunu galvanized people. And because I'm in media, he would send me an audio like this. None of you have ever heard this audio in your whole life. You've never heard it. I'm the only person with this audio. So he would obviously do communication behind the scenes with the people. And this was sent to me ahead of the match. So Nyokayemabhunu started to post every day around March, ahead of the 31st M31, 31st of March protest. And the idea was that there will be a new president by 18th of April. So at that time, Zimbabwe intelligence became very active, like extremely active. They became active in South Africa, mostly in Johannesburg, and they became active also all over the place. Because I live in two places, they obviously will be following up in Cape Town, where I was staying, and also in Johannesburg. At that time, Nyokayemabhunu was claiming to live in Cape Town, but he was not living there. He was living, as we know, in a different city. So what happened is Nyokayemabhunu then at that point asked me if he could visit me in Cape Town. We had a discussion, but he never visited me. He then eventually visited a young woman called Chimama. She's not very young, but she is a woman, a young woman called Chimama. So he visited Chimama, and they did a press conference on her channel. So after they did a press conference, that was the first time Nyokayemabhunu was ever seen by a person. He was at that point, up to that point, unknown, and he had never been seen. So at that point, Nyokayemabhunu then eventually got arrested. So he got arrested, and his phone was taken. So when his phone was taken, Zimbabwe intelligence went onto his group, his WhatsApp group, and they posted a lot of crazy stuff, including the access that they had to Sanyatwe. So General Sanyatwe had contacted Nyokayemabhunu at that time. If you go to the group right now, to Nyokayemabhunu's old group, it still has 68,000 people. the connection to Sanyatwe is still there. So Sanyatwe is the former army general of Zimbabwe. So the point they were trying to make is that they wanted to show that they knew that Sanyatwe and Kasukuere and a lot of other people. So they posted a bunch of numbers. So if you go to the group here, Nyokayemabhunu, you're going to see that they posted the names of those people. And eventually, within a short space of time, Sanyatwe got dismissed. So some of the people that you can see here are Kasukuere and the groups. So groups like Team ZANU-PF, March East, a great debate, we as members, these are the groups that they found. People like Richard Machaka, they were exposed as having talked to Nyokayemabhunu. And Nyokayemabhunu had been missing for 7 days at this point. So because people knew me, I got contacts to say Nyokayemabhunu has been abducted. And they told me the prison where they thought he was, which was Kosi Mapuru. I did not have access to Kosi Mapuru. I don't know anyone. So I called Jonasi on that very day. And I said, Jonasi, I'm not in Johannesburg. Can you go to Kosi Mapuru and look for Nyokayemabhunu? So Jonasi, the guy who was in Zimbabwe intelligence also previous. So I called him and he said he's got no access. He was going to talk to other people and they will go and look for Nyokayemabhunu. So eventually Jonasi failed to go. He didn't even go at all. So I left him and I flew from Cape Town myself and I went to look for Nyokayemabhunu. We looked everywhere and eventually I got a tip that was at the Johannesburg prison. So Johannesburg prison is one of the big prisons here in Johannesburg. So I went to Johannesburg prison and I found him. They told me that I was going to appear in court and I notified everybody that we had found Nyokayemabhunu. Then other things happened, which I won't talk about now. A lot of other things happened in between, which I won't talk about at this point. And then came the issue of cash. We didn't have cash. He didn't have a lawyer. We didn't have cash. And then we agreed, we sorted everything out. A lot of people came through. We got some donations. And then we got a lawyer. But that lawyer did not come for me because I didn't have money. So the lawyer did not come from me. And I won't mention who gave us the lawyer. So I won't tell you now. I will tell you eventually when I have to. But someone else called us and referred us to the current lawyer that we're using and said, this guy is going to do it for you for free. So I called the guys, and because at that time it was so scary, I didn't know who was who. I did not go to the meeting. I went to my hotel in Johannesburg and I said to the guys, you stay at your hotel, I stay at my hotel, and we're going to talk to each other remotely. So we had a 1 hour meeting where we then agreed that they would do the work while we look for money. And therefore they started to look for Nyoka. They went to look for him, they found him, they had meetings with him. And then on the day of court, we were told what day is court. When we arrived, we found the lawyer called Chris. So Chris was the lawyer who was handling the case. And Chris was shocked. He knows me from the platform, just like he knows you. Like you know me. He came to me and says, Gambakwe, what's happening? I explained to him that I didn't know that Nyoka had a lawyer. So we came with a lawyer to represent him. After a lot of up and down, it was agreed that both lawyers would represent. And therefore went to court looking for bail over a number of weeks, which failed. So that failed. We didn't get the bail. And the case became a problem until Chris left. Then around June, I went to the prison. So the only time I've been to the prison, this picture you're seeing is from inside the prison. So this is the prison, the Johannesburg prison here. So I went into the prison And on that day, I met Nyoka. So I met Nyoka for about an hour. When you meet a person in prison, you don't go and meet them like this. They are behind the glass and you're in this side. So I was this side and Nyoka was that side. And our biggest problem that we had was that Nyoka didn't have money. I didn't have money, enough money. I'd already spent 70 grand on this whole thing. So the lawyers then asked me if we could find out if there was someone that Nyoka knows that we can ask to help us with the legal fees. So that is the context of why we asked the Nyoka to say, if you're working with someone, can't we talk to this person so that they can help us to raise fees? Because Nyoka did not have anything to eat. When we arrived there, he had nothing to eat. He was surviving on money that was being sent by different people. So people would send every week 800 or 1,000. And in prison, there's no food. So when we arrived, we found out that he's got nothing to eat. He's surviving on those small amounts of money that he's getting. And when the money arrives, sometimes someone else has to go and pick it up and they don't send him the correct amount. So let's say you send him 1,000. The person will say, I've only got 300. And they'll take the rest of the money. So I then said, Nyoka, you are in a difficult situation here. Can't we go and ask the people that you're working with who it is? Then we can ask them to help us with the funds. And he says, I don't have anyone I'm working with. I literally don't work with anybody. That's what he said to me. Nyoka is not working with anyone. It's just a guy who was talking. He's got no one that he's talking to. Then the next thing we did is then I said to him, and that was the suggestion I gave him, maybe it's better for you to go and get tried in Zimbabwe, because they will release you when you get there. When they find out that you've got nothing, no information, they will release you. So since you're facing extradition and fraud and all these cases are in Zimbabwe, let's just go to court and admit that, yes, I want to be extradited, and they take you back home. It will be quick, and you get home and you'll be tried there. Of course, that didn't work. He was not agreeable to it. Then the third thing we did, after I came out and this didn't work, I then called a meeting. So this was my second meeting. I then called a meeting at my hotel at Waterfall City. I was staying at a hotel there, and I called the lawyer, I called Chris, and we were supposed to meet there and reach an agreement because Chris was supposed to leave the case. I also called Ndogozo to that meeting. Unfortunately, Ndogozo could not make the meeting because he was in Durban. So it was me, Chris, and Yugi, and then Chris came with a guy. I don't know that guy, who he was. And Chris also didn't seem to know who the guy was. So we sat down and we came up with a strategy. The strategy was that I would go and talk to prosecutors in Zimbabwe. So the prosecutor general and the deputy prosecutor general of Zimbabwe. So now I'm telling you real things, not jokes that you hear from people. So I got the numbers of the prosecutor general and the deputy prosecutor general. And we called. So I called them. The arrangement was our lawyer, Yugi, would fly to Zimbabwe and try and negotiate with the prosecutor general and the deputy prosecutor general so that Nyoka would pay the money that they say is owing. You pay that money, and then after he pays, they will then get rid of the case. And that means one case is gone. That case will be gone, and then the whole thing will be over. Because at the moment, Nyoka is just staying in jail for nothing. I called the prosecutor general, I called the deputy prosecutor general of Zimbabwe, and both of them were reluctant to enter into any discussions with me. So we then advised Chris that we've not succeeded in this approach. So the approach of calling the prosecutor general and the deputy prosecutor general had failed. Similarly, we could not get the money to go to the High Court, because if we had gone to the High Court, then Nyoka would be tried from outside. He would be on bail while being tried, and he won't be extradited. At the same time, Nyoka would have gone and received asylum. As it stands right now, Nyoka does not have asylum. So on Tuesday, he's appearing in court. And if it is found that he is a candidate for extradition, they'll extradite him on Tuesday. That is 3 days from now, or 4 days from now. They'll extradite him. So we tried everything. I then called another meeting. And this week, so I fly like up and down to do this thing. This week we're staying at Holiday Inn. I was staying at Holiday Inn at Woodmead. In that meeting, there was the lawyer, the advocate, there was Ndogozo, and Sarawaka was supposed to come there, but Sarawaka didn't come. We just came out of court. Sarawaka didn't come. The idea there was, what we do to raise funds. And Godwin had came up with the ideas like a soccer tournament and all those kind of things. We're trying to raise money. So he said, why don't you sell t-shirts? Why don't you do a soccer tournament? Why don't you do all this kind of stuff? And we're running out of money. It's very expensive to move up and down, to stay in hotels and all that. So that didn't work. And suddenly, General Stolle appeared from nowhere. General Stolle appeared in the case and started to make demands to say, we want to see how the money is being used, how Sarawaka is collecting money. And there was a fight. So there was a very, very big fight about the matter. Eventually, the question arose, if we're doing so much, who are these people who are actually benefiting from this whole thing? If people say Nyoka is working for someone in the army, who is it? Who is that person? That is why, and I put it to you, that the combination of all these things is then what led us to say, Nyoka, give us the details. And the lawyer made that request, not me. The lawyer made the request. She wanted to get hold of that person who is in, who was supposed to be working with Nyoka. And I knew there was nobody. And then obviously there was the visit. Someone reportedly from the army had arrived in South Africa. And after they arrived, they met some people, and I didn't know about it. I honestly didn't know about such meetings that took place, resulting in my attempts, and eventually you saw the public fallout that happened as the lawyers were trying to get paid. So the lawyers have not been paid up to this day. The lawyers have not been paid. So they are owed above 60,000. And this weekend they've withdrawn. So on when the case went to court last week, Malahlelo attorneys have withdrawn from the case because they still haven't been paid. So I want to make it clear, because there are people who are going around saying, oh, where was Pardon getting money? Who was the, why were you asking who is he working with? Why do you say he must be extradited? The bills are piling up as we speak. The court bills are piling. No one is paying. As far as I know, except for Godwin, no one is paying. And our job was to find a solution. If we'd gone to the High Court, the estimation was 35,000, and that is a quotation we're given by Chris, was $35,000. So among all the 3 lawyers, we needed $35,000 to take him to court. If we stayed at the High Court, we needed $5,000. But we failed to raise the $5,000, which is crazy. But I talk a lot. Let me now play for you. I want to give you a background so that you understand. I want to give you a background of what was being said during that time between me and my lawyers. Let me show you a recording, and then let me show you what we said, what we discussed at that time. It took about 9 minutes, so you hear all these things that I'm describing now. You hear the context from that discussion between me and Yugi.
He's just a bit surprised that he messaged me. I sent him that screenshot as well to show that's the number the money thing came from. He says that apparently the person that was paying Chris, they trusted Chris. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. The person that was paying Chris, oh, Godwin is trying to phone me now.
Who is trying to
But
call?
anyway, Godwin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's trying to phone me.
So you're saying the person was
I
trying
sent
to
him-
phone Chris? Was paying Chris?
Yeah, they trusted Chris. They absolutely trusted Chris. But now, when they asked who's remaining, everyone said, Pardon's lawyer. That's
Yeah.
the problem. So apparently because it's your lawyer, they don't want to pay me. So he says he's going to speak to that guy again and say, but Yugi's not involved and in politics and whatever. He tried to speak to them. And they're like, yeah, but it's Pardon's lawyer. That's why.
No, but these guys are lying. They must tell us who is that person.
He didn't want to tell me the person.
Because Chris was never paid. That's not true. Chris has not been paid at all.
No, Chris was apparently paid directly. Every time Chris was paid directly.
No, but he was paid only
because
3
Chris
times.
was paid.
He was paid 4,000, 5,000, 4,000.
No, but one time, remember Chris said 15,000.
Yeah.
There was one time that he said that, 15K.
Yeah,
so this guy was paying Chris directly because they trusted Chris. And I said, okay, then he asked about what happened today with Nyoka and stuff. I said, you know what, there's been stuff that, about the coup and whatever. And he's like, yeah, he also remembers at the end of November because they all came together. They all left that time. So I don't know how October came. And he's like, he read the affidavit himself and he's like, yeah, he saw a lot of mistakes. I said, but that was your lawyer that y'all hired. And now when I'm trying to do my job, y'all don't want to pay me or y'all don't want to, even trust me. He's like, no, we do and stuff. We do trust you. It's just that the big guy, he doesn't believe that, that I'm for everyone. He's like, I'm just Pardon's lawyer. So that's where he is. Apparently, you just created a name for yourself. But in Thokozo, he's trying to talk to them and say, but Yugi is independent. And Pardon is not involved in that sense.
But what I want to know is, who is the guy? We can't just be talking of someone we don't know.
I have no idea. You have to talk to Thokozo.
You can be paid by the devil right now. Do we accept money from the devil?
Of course not.
See, that's the problem. Who is this guy who is not wanting to be known? And he makes demands and we don't see him.
Yeah, that's you need to talk to him. You need to talk because I did ask and he says, you know what, it's just someone on the top that paid Chris. I said, okay.
Then Chris knows the guy?
Yeah, Chris knows the guys, apparently.
So why yesterday you didn't want to tell us?
I don't know, but Chris does know the person. He knows where his money was coming from.
Well, then I don't know.
They trusted Chris.
Well, then they must get a new lawyer then.
Yeah.
So that can help us. Because if they don't want to pay, because I don't understand. I don't get it.
Maybe you must throw those lines with Thokozo.
I don't have to talk to Thokozo because Thokozo is no one. I can tell you that. He's got no influence on anything.
Yeah, he says he also wants to walk away from this matter now. Yeah. He says, you know what, he'll try his best to settle the bill and stuff and see what he can do and how he can help, however. And then after that, he's even thinking about whether to walk away or not. That's what he says. He's like, no, this matter is just, it's too much for him.
It's fine, but we can't leave Nyoka inside jail.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people were not there in the beginning. They just came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't move away from... Because apparently what they're trying to do is to get me fed up and leave.
Yeah, so they don't like you because you created a very nice name for yourself. Apparently you had other cases.
Where?
Other matters. Something similar like other matters or whatever, and that's why the media hates you.
No, but I never had a case like any case. What case is he talking about?
I have no idea, but it's like there's other matters that you've done and the media just doesn't like you anymore. It's because you did that to yourself.
Which matter?
And I said, you know what? I have no idea. I said, you know what? I don't know about all these things, but I'm just trying to do my job.
Yeah, but I'm not going to just let them talk from the bush with no evidence and with nothing, just talking. Because they're just talking from nowhere. Who is it who is talking? We don't know.
Yeah.
So we can't just accept the fact that someone is talking. We can't just accept what they're saying. I don't want them to trust me because I don't know them. Who are they? So why should they trust me? Because I don't know the guy who's talking. Who is the person? You see, you can be talking to the guys from Nangagwa right now. And so I'm really not even interested.
Yeah. But you must try and talk to them. Maybe you guys can chat about this, I think everyone needs to come to a table and be like, okay, who's who?
But remember, my only reason here for being here is to assist Nyoka. I don't want to have any other relationships. Right now, I just sent the money for Nyoka. That's done for today. I don't ask questions.
I told him Tokozo, but I said, you know what? He's like, apparently they don't trust Godwin and stuff as well. I'm like, yeah, but Godwin's here because of a party, you know? And as for your guys, you need to understand, Pardon's also here for media coverage. You need to understand that, yes, he's my client, but he's also here for media coverage. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I said, 5 more people can come like this and they can still ask, you know, like for media or whatever. We can't stop the public. You need to go and tell that to your boss. And Pardon hasn't done anything wrong as yet. So there's nothing that's been done.
Yeah, but these guys can't make demands on me because they just came in later. We worked with them because of Chris. Chris is gone now. Chris must just get out of the case. So that is what they need to do. He's meeting Chris today. You know that, right?
What?
He's meeting Chris today.
Who?
Ntokozo.
No, I don't know about that. You never told me that.
That's what I'm saying. These guys, they are just something else. They do a lot of underhand stuff and we don't know about it.
Yeah.
So why is he meeting Chris? Because I said he must meet you on Thursday so that we can finalize.
Chris was the one that suggested Thursday.
Yeah, but they're meeting today now. Yeah, they're meeting Nyoka today. Sorry, Ntokozo today.
Okay. Well, I suppose it has nothing to do with us then, obviously.
Yeah, it's cool. But all I just want to do is I want to know who is the person who is behind all this talk. Because honestly, I can't have someone dictating and I don't know who it is.
You want his number?
Yeah. You've got it?
No, in Tokozo's number.
No, I talked to Tokozo. You just WhatsApp me now. I'm talking about the actual guy who is behind the scenes. Because that is crazy, man. You can't have someone on the back there.
I think that's the guy they keep referring to as chief.
Yes, but who is that chief?
I have no idea.
Don't you have the chief's number? Then we can check him. We can Google who it is.
I don't have the chief's number.
Okay. No, that's cool. For now, I don't care. We just continue the way we're doing. Because what is he going to do anyway? Yeah, there's nothing.
I see this John is messaging me now.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this John.
Leave him.
Okay. I think that was a long conversation. What I'm going to do is, guys, I don't, you see me, I'm not an ordinary person. I think 10 kilometers ahead most times of what happens. So many people, when they come towards me, they don't understand. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to, like, I don't fly between Cape Town, which is like 2 hours, then Johannesburg, 2 hours. I spend a week in Johannesburg looking for someone, leave my family for 6 weeks. I flew for 6 weeks between Johannesburg and Cape Town. I spent so much of my money, my time. My company suffered because I can't make money when I'm looking for Nyoka. So some people, when they see me, they think, this guy, we can just talk and just go on our channel and talk and say, Gambakwe this, Gambakwe that. I am totally honest and clear about what I was doing. I was helping Nyoka on his personal capacity to get out of jail. I've got no interest, I've got no connections, I know nobody in this whole situation. But I also don't like people who lie. So someone comes here and they say something. They go to Mnangagwa, they say something. They go to Chiwenga, they say something. They go to Kasukwere, they say something. I'm prepared for those situations where someone tries that kind of trick to lie. So there are people in this environment whose job is to lie. They're just confusing the environment. And at the moment, Nyoka is stuck in jail for over 150 days. Nyoka knows absolutely nothing. That man had no money. Like when he was arrested, he had no money. I don't know what was happening behind the scenes, but he had no money. And as we speak right now, he is struggling still. No one is taking care of his bills. And when it comes to the chief visiting Johannesburg, whoever is the chief, I don't know. But you heard it yourself. There are words that says there was a chief, but whoever is the chief has failed to pay the bills. And Godwin now has to do all the paying of the bills from his own pocket and using his own company. So this business of saying, oh, this person sold out Nyoka, this person, after we do so much work, someone has got the audacity to go around and say, you got this person arrested. Or you are the one who said who is working with Nyoka. I'm giving you the background now. The reason why we are asking who is working with Nyoka is we want to get paid. We want the lawyers to get paid. So if the lawyer doesn't get paid, who is going to pay the lawyer? Like, honestly, do you think I must pay for the lawyer alone? Or Godwin must pay for the lawyer alone? Right now, General Stolle has been trying to raise, I don't even know how much he was trying to raise, but none of that money has been raised. So all the inquiries that we're making is to try and get help so that someone can help Nyoka. Not to be funny, but to say, who is it who can help us? And at the moment, no one is there. Guys, staying in jail for 150 days is not a joke. So it's something that needed to be solved. And also, to get to the point where we can't even get him to the High Court. The whole of Zimbabwe has got 17 million people. And we are failing to raise $35,000 so that Nyoka can go to the High Court and finish the case. By now, we'll be out working, but it's not out working. And all we have is people who are lying. So every time they don't like me, they go to their media, they find the media house to lie, to say, Gambakwe did this, Gambakwe did that. When I spend so much money and time on this situation. So all I'm trying to say is, we need to address this issue of a general. I'm sure, in my suspicion, obviously, given that the Zimbabwe intelligence already had the phone, they know this information. That is why Sanyat was fired before the match. The match, he was fired before that. And you saw they posted this on purpose. They posted his chats or his heading of the group. So in the Nyokayemabhunu group, they posted it. It's there. You can go and check it out. If you've got access to the old Nyokayemabhunu group, you'll see that they've posted the chat about Sanyatwe and also his link to the group. They've done that, but that was before he was fired and before the match itself. So this is where we are. My view is simple. Nyoka knew nobody. There are other people who knew, but Nyoka was just talking. He didn't know anyone. So when we asked and when we went to the prosecutor general, all these things that we're trying to do was to get him out. And of course, it didn't work. He's still in jail right now. I don't know who is working with Nyoka. I don't know who is chief. I've never received money from anybody. And as we speak, the lawyers are still not paid. And Godwin, I don't know where Godwin comes from. He's been paying at least for the advocate from his own pocket, but I don't know where he's coming from. He also appeared at the court, so I don't know where he's coming from. Last time we went to court, Godwin phoned the lawyers not to talk to me. I was just sitting there and the lawyer told me, I've received a call that you mustn't talk to Pardon. Why? I don't know. And I don't care. I honestly don't care. Like, it's got nothing to do with me. Whatever they do is their business. All I can say to you is that this case of Nyoka, if it was me handling it right now, I would ask Nyoka to accept the extradition, go to Zimbabwe, and you get released there as soon as they realize that he doesn't have any information. Because whoever is keeping him in South Africa, they are probably afraid that if he goes to Zimbabwe, he is going to spill the beans. And also, if I was Mnangagwa, I would order the prosecutor general to withdraw the case, letting Nyoka walk and walk outside. Because this is what we need. We don't need this thing of someone staying in jail. And for no reason, there's no case here. The case of the stand, the people who sold the stand, who bought the stand didn't buy from Nyoka. They bought from a cooperative. Nyoka was the chairperson. They've already been paid back. There's an agreement between Nyoka and those people. So there was no need for him to be in jail. Extradition, yes. Nyoka can easily just be thrown out of South Africa and he goes to Zimbabwe. Nothing's going to happen to him. Traore is in Zimbabwe right now. Nothing is happening to him. So it's the same thing. When he gets to Zimbabwe, they can then charge him for whatever they want to charge him. What is it that they're going to charge Nyoka with when he gets to Zimbabwe? Because Nyoka is already served at the time. Right, let's quickly look at the comments. Cape Town kunani iwe unogara around Joburg. Yes, I told you, I'm the one who just told you, Ulitandi. What are you talking about? Who doesn't know this thing that I'm telling you? I don't understand people. They try to be detectives. I stay in both Johannesburg and Cape Town. So what are you trying to talk? I just told you I had meetings at my hotel at Mall of Africa and at Holiday Inn Woodmead. Why would I stay in the hotel if I'm staying in Johannesburg? I do have 2 residences. I've already told you. Don't even try to do a detective work. I told you already. Gambakwe Mtengesi iwe, yes. Andrew Maparura. The fact that you want Nyoka to be extradited to Zimbabwe, there is a lot of. I don't want him to be extradited. I want him to accept the extradition. Right now, he does not have an asylum. He is stuck in jail. They keep postponing. It's already 150 days. If Nyoka had gone to Zimbabwe at that time, they already would have released him by now. You are going to see Malcolm walking out before Nyoka. Because the courts in Zimbabwe are different from the courts in South Africa. So, what matter is he facing in Zimbabwe? Do you think by now the fraud case was not going to be charged? Nyoka is not facing in court right now. We know it's political, but he's facing 2 charges right now as you speak. So he's going to face the fraud charge, which is going to be dismissed. He's going to face what else? That's all. He's facing a fraud charge. They will release him after a short while. Do you know he has spent longer than the sentence? Nyoka was sentenced to 6 months in jail. In this case, do you know that he spent longer right now in awaiting trial than if he had gone to Zimbabwe and saved the case? So Nyoka's crime was to talk. They already have his phone. They don't want anything from Nyoka. They already have his phone right now. What they want is the generals. So what is they were trying? They think he's connected to the generals, and that is what they wanted. And that is what I'm telling you right now. Nyoka is just being made to suffer for nothing. There's nothing that is going to come out of what's going on right now. The person that is a complainant has never appeared. There's never been a complainant in Nyoka's case in court. So what I'm trying to say is, let's avoid making the situation for Nyoka worse. Give him good advice. And if you keep paying money and paying and paying and paying, eventually run out of money. Things aren't going to be stupid. They are going to keep postponing like they've been doing. And so what we need to do, we need a lawyer that is brave enough, that is going to go to court and say, we accept the extradition. And then it will be taken through a process. There's a process of extradition currently. Or we do a negotiation with the prosecutor general, they withdraw the case. And the Nyoka is going to work that day. So if the prosecutor general of Zimbabwe withdraws, let's say on Tuesday, they go there and they say, we are withdrawing this case. Nyoka will be taken to the border. They will leave him at the border because he's not in South Africa legally. Right? The case for being in South Africa illegally, I think it's coming up on November 12th or something, if I'm not mistaken. Or November 27th, somewhere up there. Much later than Tuesday. So we need a solution. We can't continue with this way. The way things are going now is terrible. And then we've got these people that are just lying. So people go to Chiwenga and lie. They go to Mnangagwa and lie. They go to Godwin and lie. They go to the lawyer and lie. And then they confuse everything. We don't want that. We want clarity. So I'm not going to allow people to lie about me, especially on Nyoka's case. I spent so much time and so much money. They will charge him with treason. There's nothing that he did. Nyoka has never done anything to prisoners. Thanks Gambakwe keeping us updated. Kuluma pila ngesindebele at night. Traora akasungwa, unoda kuti vasungwe vese here. Nyoka akasungwa, what are you talking about? Nyoka is in jail. If Nyoka goes to Zimbabwe now, they will release him. So with this thing of just going round and round, we need to end it. And also, remember what I just said. You heard me in my discussion with the lawyer. There was someone called Chief. Who is that Chief? I kept asking. I don't want to walk around with people I don't know. So I don't want to be in a case and then there's some chief sitting somewhere and I don't know who that chief is. That is crazy. Okay, Gambakwe, you Gambakwe in things. We know you have done this. Why do you tell Nyoka don't interact with anyone else no matter he's a woman, so you done this because of money? I never said Nyoka don't interact with anyone. In my whole life, I've seen Nyoka once. In my whole life, I've seen Nyoka once. I've never seen him before that day, and that was my last time to see him. Okay, so let's make it clear. Let's summarize. There are three things. I have made many attempts to receive cash so that we can pay for Nyoka's lawyers. When we started this case, I have met multiple times with the lawyers, and we've had many discussions with Ndogozo and with the other guys. Eventually, obviously, Godwin remained with the advocate. So there's currently no attorney. That's why they keep postponing. My proposal to Nyoka was that he must accept to be extradited to Zimbabwe and be tried there. That way, this thing will end quickly because the South Africans are out of it. We've also asked the Prosecutor General of Zimbabwe to release him or to at least withdraw the charges. That is another option for the Prosecutor General of Zimbabwe to withdraw the charges. Then Nyoka will be released on these fraud charges and extradition. But because he's illegal in South Africa, they will immediately send him to Zimbabwe. And that process itself will be very quick and Nyoka will be free. He won't be arrested at all. From what I can see, Nyoka will be released and there won't be much. Nyoka was just talking. He doesn't know anyone. And then when it comes to the general, it was the lawyer's request to say, since they are traveling to Zimbabwe, they wanted to know who is the people that he was working with so that they can ask them. So because they try to get money everywhere else, they wanted to know who are you working with so that we can get money. And the good thing about me, I have got, when you see me sitting here right now, I am a recording machine right now. So everything you talk to me is already recorded. That is the good thing. So if you ask me, can we ask the lawyers? Can we ask Nyoka who is the one that is paying or he was working with? I can take it out for you if I want. It's easy. So trust me, I've got no interest, personal interest, except for his interests. And yourself, what do you think? If you are working with someone and then they go to jail because of you, don't you think you've got a job to pay for that person to get out? How can we fail to raise $5,000 in such a case? If people are serious, raising 5,000 should be like this. It shouldn't be difficult. And currently, at the moment, Nyoka is stuck in jail because can't go to the High Court or failing to raise 35,000. This is the whole story. There's nothing else. This is the whole story. And don't listen to lies. And when I'm talking about lies, firstly, you can't go to YouTube and say Gambakwe is an informer. Don't listen to Gambakwe. Gambakwe this, Gambakwe that. Eventually, you're going to get into trouble. We don't want people who lie. And people who say Gambakwe wanted to ask Nyoka, which general were you working with so that you could sell out the general to Mnangagwa. I have told you here who I talked to in the government of Zimbabwe. We have called the prosecutor general. I'm not talking about something that is not on record. I have called the guys in the prosecutor general's office to ask them to withdraw the charges. We have WhatsApps here with discussions with them to say, release Nyoka, allow him to come out of the South African jail, pull out the case. Those are the things that we do. And I'm not talking about something that is done in private. And it's public. That's why I'm telling you here. All right. That is amazing. That is amazing. I think we've covered it. Atidi ndumure dzinongovukura. Atidi ndumure dzinongovukura. Because this was serious. We do the real thing and they talk about it. But I don't want the general public to be lied to and to be told that people who came yesterday on the case have got more interest than me. I tried my best to get Nyoka out. And that is all I'm trying to do. Right. I would like to thank all of you for watching. Let's look at the tanks again. Are the tanks out? Are the tanks back? Let's see if the tanks are back or have been explained. All right, nothing yet. Nothing yet. I'll come back later in the evening to tell you about the tanks. But let us be clear. Nyoka needs to get out. And on Tuesday, he's going to be back in court. Let us do all our best to get him out. But people who lie, I hate them a lot. People who just talk kunje. Like you find nothing to do, your beer is finished. Just say, what? Let me talk about Gambakwe. We don't like it. We don't like it. But I can take care of myself, guys. I can explain myself. And that is what I do. I am clear in everything I do. I'm clean. I told you in the past, I'm totally clean. And Nyoka, he's going to thank me. I just don't like it when someone is in jail and they keep being lied to. These guys took 27,000. These guys got 127,000. Oh, these guys did this. When you're in jail, those things affect you. And you can end up not feeling well because people are lying. Let him deal with other matters. But don't create a fake betrayal. So people are creating a fake betrayal so that Nyoka can feel bad in jail. And that's not right. That is not right. Okay, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you again as soon as something breaks. We expect today something big to come up. And someone says I'm stupid. Carlos Nema. Pasine is Zoro. Carlos Nema. What kind of a name is Carlos? If he goes to Zimbabwe, they won't release him. Why are they not releasing him? That's why I'm saying Gambakwe, the chief suspect on your arrest. What did Mzembe do? What do you know? Why are you saying that was your last time to meet Nyoka? I've only met Nyoka once in my whole life. Once only. Sorry, apologies about that. I think I've lost my network. So, in my whole life, this is the last and first day I've met Nyoka. This day. When I went to jail. So forget it. I don't have anything to hide. And then, I think we're covered. Gambakwe is right. Gambakwe is right. If he's guilty, he's high chance to walk out of jail the same day. Yes, he must go to Zimbabwe. That's what I believe. He must be sent back to Zimbabwe. This thing is going on and on forever. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, go to the old Nyokayemabhunu group. Everyone's name is there. Team 1 ZANU-PF. There is Marsh East Funding, Great Debate Zimbabwe Revolution. Kaskwere is fingered in this group. I won't even show you Sanyatwe stuff. In fact, let me show you Sanyatwe stuff. There is Sanyatwe stuff. General, we tried to call General Sanyatwe, but Avachabati phone. Do you see? What the CIO did, they went to Nyoka's phone and they grabbed that screens and they put them in Nyoka's group. So this was done, and this was done on the day Nyoka was arrested. He was arrested around the 7th, and then we found him around the 20, I think it was around the 21st. They had him for about 14 days, Nyoka. So I don't know in between what they did to him. But guys, don't play, don't lie about people, and listen very carefully when we're talking. Some of us, it costs us a lot of money to do this. It's not your last time, Gambakwe, you will still meet him. Both of you are alive. I think now, I'm saying the last time I met him, in terms of kusangana na imun in jail, I'm not saying that was the last time forever. I'm just saying that was the last time I met him. in the jail. Okay, I think I've covered it. I'll see you guys later. Let us work together. Our country needs to be changed, but it doesn't mean the only way to change the country is to remove Mnangagwa today. My belief is clear. We must go to elections. I believe in elections. So 2028, there are elections. That's what I believe in. I don't believe in anything else. If Mnangagwa and Chwenga are fighting each other, there's a Muzan. Like Nyokayemabhunu Kuzan. Mnangagwa and Chwenga. They were Muzan. Very true. In this Munozan. You are not a ZANU person. So Sada was written ZANU stere. You got it. Sada was written ZANU stere. Okay. I was easy. I think we've covered it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again later. Blawayo people, get ready. Tonight we're unpacking the future of Nkulumane Smart City. And a good day to you all.